Retired Lieutenant Todd Heaton here with Humilitas First. So the first thing to notice is look at the time. It's 10:19 and like 12 seconds. I'll read the description. This is a Crime Stoppers case. On Wednesday, October 12th, 2022, around 10:30 p.m., the complainant's husband and wife had just returned to the residence in the Tanglewood subdivision after eating at a restaurant at the 5100 block of Bel Air in Houston, Texas. One of the complainants, the husband, walked outside to take the trash out and was walking back towards his door when he was suddenly approached by three unknown males who began assaulting him by hitting him with a handgun. The suspects forced the complainant back into his house. When his wife heard the commotion and went downstairs to investigate, the suspects turned their attention towards the female complainant and began to pistol whip her. The suspects then ransacked the residence, removing several articles of value, and then fled the location in a four-door sedan. We can't see the full time, but I seriously doubt they were inside the house for an hour. We see the time jump from 22:19 to 22:21. And my guess is when you see the bad guys run across the screen from the left to the right, that's when they identified, oh, there the guy is, bringing the garbage out. So they run over, they grab him, they make him go inside. So this thing's over in like 2 minutes. From the time the violent domination begins until they've got what they want and they're gone, just a couple minutes. The country is starting to see these follow home robberies. If you live in an area that is beginning to experience these things, you need to start seeing your arrival at home. It's a transition. There are things you can do on the way home to determine if you're being followed. I'm going to do something to test it, to check whether or not I'm actually being followed. Well, what might I do? I'm going to turn. I'm going to turn in a way that's kind of odd. So one example that I might use, I'm going to box around. I'm going to take a right. I'm going to go down the street, I'm going to take another right, and then I'm going to take another right, and then I'm going to be able to take one more right, and I'm going the same direction I was going. So that car that I think is following me, if it turns and makes the same rights that I just made and boxed around the exact same area, then the probability is, yeah, they are following me. I'm being followed, and I don't know why. So those are facts that then I can convey if I call 911. And report, hey, I've got somebody following me. When I was a police officer, I used a more aggressive and confrontational style of test and see. And there are other ways, there are other methods that can be used, though I want to keep this video short, so I'm not going to dig down on all of those here today. Suffice to say, you want to test things. You want to find odd ways. By doing odd things, that tests the person behind you. We're trying to figure out whether or not we have a problem, right? And if we have a problem and it's a potentially violent confrontation kind of problem, then we're going to want to contact 911 and get some assistance. That's the first thing. The second thing that I want to, emphasize here, it's so easy to hear the news reports. When they say something like,
police say the suspects followed the victims here to their home before the shooting.
It is happening, so be on the lookout.
After hearing enough of these, we hear the same thing that Charlie Brown heard when the teacher was talking. When it comes to your neck of the woods, as it were, the city that you patronize, you shop, you move in and through for goods and services, it's your responsibility to discipline yourself, make yourself pay attention to changes as it relates to violent types of crimes. You have to discipline yourself. Think, wait, where did they say? Where is that happening at? You got to do the thinking ahead of time as it relates to what do I need to look for? How do I exercise good situational awareness? What does that even mean in the context of this particular problem? Once you arrive at home, the practices that you have for getting in the home, getting the door locked, all those things need to be tightened up. How much the more if there is a car behind you and all of a sudden that car stops or parks in close proximity to your home. These are all clues. All you got to do is start doing the thinking ahead of time. Implement a plan, and if the plan goes sideways, then adapt and overcome. Maybe that garbage just sets on the garage floor until tomorrow, until the daylight. Or if I have to take it out now, then I look outside. Do I see any brake lights? Do I see any cars parked on the street that I don't recognize? It's going to wait till tomorrow. It's going to be fine. I'll take it out tomorrow.